It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this week's theme is called Carpenter Brutal, and this is my summit guide. Let's go. All right, before we get into it, if you're looking for any of my tunes, you can go to militiagamingco.com, click on Motorfest Pro settings from the top, and there you will find all of the settings that I've done. All right, let's get into it, man. The cars for this week on the Summit bundle are going to be the Dodge Charger SRT Demon Awaken Edition, the Ford GT Hypercar, and the Porsche Cayman GT4 Carbon Edition. But there's a bunch of vehicles that you're going to need in addition to that. So I recommend the Ford GT Interception Unit if you have it. If not, you can use the regular Ford GT. I also recommend the Lamborghini Huracan, and then you're going to need a drag vehicle with Nitro Chem as your set bonus with Pure and Frenetic, an Alpha Grand Prix car with Scorebreaker and Skilled and Pure, and then a Proto WR1 boat with Scorebreaker and Skilled and Pure. All right, the keys to this summit, like many other summits, is going to be the shortcuts, but here are the pro settings for all of the vehicles I just mentioned. All right, the first event is called Death Racer, and this is with the brand new creators car. This is the summit reward for this week. If you can get platinum, it's okay. It's all right. I haven't really tested it yet, but it is all right. Anyways, there's a few things you can do on this course, like this first cut, to shave off little bits of time. Now, this first cut is not like the fastest. It's not going to shave off a ton of time, but because this corner is so slow, you can actually take this cut on the left, and it's kind of difficult because the car jumps a little bit. So I usually aim for that tree and try to downshift in the air to slow the car down, because you still need to make a hard left-hand turn. It just gets you there a slight, a fraction of a second faster. All right, now after making this right-hander here, you're going to set yourself up for a cut on the left. So stay wide towards this sidewalk, and you should be eyeballing the end of this wall right here. You do have to be careful. If you cut it too sharp, you're going to hit cars on the inside. If you cut it too wide, you're going to hit cars on the outside. So make sure you go right in between and cut that corner. You can nos out of it if you like, but be careful for the next corner that's up here. This one, you're also going to cut the corner. This is a very sharp corner, and it approaches quickly. So just be ready for it. Downshift into second, and you can take this corner with ease. Finally, on this last corner of the race, you need to slow down a lot, but you should try to get an angle that allows you to get onto this sidewalk. If you back up and take a look at what I did here, I kind of stayed pretty wide and I was not going super fast. What this allows you to do is get on the throttle a little bit sooner. So if you can get onto this curb and avoid this building right here, this allows your car to really grip up, because you don't have one set of wheels on the curb and one set of wheels in the street. If you do that, it's like death. You're going to spin out, or you're going to hit this wall, you're going to go off into the beach. Make sure you get both wheels on the sidewalk. It's really important. Anyways, this allows you to get on the throttle earlier, allows you to get on the NOS earlier, and that's pretty much it for this one. All right, the next race is called Darksynth Driver, and this one I do recommend using the Agera R if you can. I actually did struggle with the Agera R. If for some reason you're not finding yourself being able to control this car, because that's really common. Even I have a pretty hard time with it in gutter situations. If you're having trouble controlling it, go to the Gordon Murray T50. That's going to be your secondary option. And if you're having trouble controlling that, then go down to the 110. But I will be honest with you, I don't think the 110 is very fit for this course. There's a lot of like really weird, sharp, high-speed turns, and the 110 really does understeer way too much for that. The Agera R is going to be the best choice, but if you can't do it, T50. So anyways, there's not a lot of cuts in this, but I will show you a couple of things that I've learned as I was doing this like a million times. On this first corner, it's important you don't cut it too tight. There's a little bump and it makes your car jump and it throws you into the bridge. So what I do is I eyeball the poles that are on the outside here and go outside of them. Sometimes I hit these poles, but my goal is to go just outside of this light pole here. And then on this one, I go inside this light pole. There's a large like mound here, and it makes your car jump, and then you end up hitting the checkpoint. So it kind of jumps anyway, but a little less on the left side of that. Out of all the turns, this gutter is going to be one of the most important. I didn't even do it that clean. I slowed way down into about 100 miles an hour, but you can take that a lot faster than I did. But try to nail that gutter if you can. All right, here at about 44%, I like to cut this corner, but not too much. Again, try to stay on the dirt. It's a little bit more flat. And then on the other side of the bridge, I cut this corner a lot. I actually lost control on this clip, and I can definitely optimize that, but you're going to want to cut that right after the bridge. At this corner 53, you can stay on the road, just take the gutter. It's a lot faster. Then you can get yourself into 7th and NOS to get up to top speed again. This checkpoint at 72, you can just extend into the grass and go straight towards the other one, and then make sure you cut right after that. I like to grab gutter there, and I like to grab gutter here. It was kind of a janky gutter, but you know, we got it done. And honestly, that's pretty much it for this race. Just try to stay on the course, go as fast as you can. All right, the next event is called Feel My Demon. And this one, there are quite significant cuts in this, so let's just fast forward to those. After taking this gutter here, you can just go straight across the grass. You don't have to take the road there. It does save you quite a bit of time. At the top of the hill here, I recommend going left of this down tree. You can just squeeze right between the tree and the hill. It's not too bad. If you slow down just a little bit, you'll definitely go faster than if you try to make this turn, because you have to turn right and then left to get on the dirt road, and then you end up hitting the brick wall or, you know, losing control, sliding out. This is just a straighter line. The car will jump a little bit. That's okay. You can use some air NOS or something like that. But when you land, make sure going into 4th. It's important because then it gives you good acceleration when you're there. So let me show you in like full speed. See? Then you're in 4th. Now this next turn coming up here, there's a left-hander in the dirt. It's important you stay really close to this wall. There's some rocks here which give your car a little bit of grip, and you can take this in 5th at about 75-ish miles an hour. You might be able to go a little bit faster, but I found this to be a better way to do this than to actually stay on the dirt path, because then you just lose control. So you do have to kind of go slow, but this is definitely the best way to keep grip. I stayed in 5th that whole time as well. Then you can use NOS to get out of it. All right, this next cut is going to be the biggest cut in this entire event. This one saves you a ton of time. You're basically aiming for the right side of this tree coming up. So look for this. Once you see these lights here on this turn, look for this single tree directly right here. You're gonna go to the right of that tree, and you're gonna kind of point your car a little bit to the right as well when you land. You're basically looking for the right side of that tree, and then these like, I don't know what these are, like cherry blossoms or something, these red flowers in these trees. You want to go to the left of this one in front of you. So it's right here to the left of that one, and then point your car to the right, and you'll end up right by the bridge, which is the checkpoint. When you're done with that, I would recommend going directly to the left of this tree and resetting when you get to the road. That'll get your checkpoint and allow you to go straight on the road. Now this next turn, I think you can extend wide into the dirt. I didn't really do it well here. I think you'd actually go straight across and then meet up with this next tree with the red light on it. That's where you have to go anyway. So I think there's a better line there. But I feel like what I did is good enough to, you know, show you guys that you can extend that. Just play around with it a little bit. Right here, you need to go on this left-hand turn. You're gonna need to go directly at this sign and use some NOS to make sure you reset when you get there. And the last turn, make sure you slow down enough for this one and cut across this little parking lot. And you're good to go. That's it. All right, the next event is called Power, and for this one I recommend using the Lamborghini Huracan. For this thing, you got this little starting sequence. You basically want to press the gas once this thing is fully lit up. So if you notice, lit up, then you press the gas. Lit up, then you press the gas. So that's the sequence. You want to get all 3 of those. If you don't get all 3 of those, just restart the event, because the NOS and the NOS management in this race is going to be the difference maker. Now, obviously, you're going to need Nitrochemist parts with Pure, but I recommend switching to Frenetic. If you really want to get that extra edge, you can. On my run, I didn't feel like re-affixing all my parts, so I went with Pure and Extra Pump, which is a set that I already have. But Extra Pump really doesn't do anything for you because you have 3 predetermined NOS shots in this race event. So the Extra Pump's helping you get more NOS faster. You don't get more NOS. So definitely switch to Frenetic just to get like a slight little edge there. Now, as far as the start goes, you want to rev the car up to about somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 RPMs. And then when the go lights up, you're going to both slam the gas and hit the first NOS shot. Now you should also immediately shift to third. If you're in automatic, you're going to be at a significant disadvantage here. Shift to third right away, and then make sure you don't miss any of your shifts. Once you get past this first curve, go ahead and NOS on your second shot. Then hold off on the third shot of NOS. It's the last one you get until you hit this final curve. There's a right-hander coming up right here. Hit the NOS mid-corner to make sure you don't lose too much speed there, and it gets you up to full speed for the backside. If I had frenetic, I bet you I would be in the top, 2 or 3, but I did get a decent time of 32 seconds, so 32.8, not too bad. Anyways, that's it for this one. All right, the next event is called Color Me Blood, and for this one, I do recommend the Interception unit. It just handles slightly better than the regular 4GT, but both cars are pretty decent, so if you just have the regular 4GT, that's okay too. Now there's only a couple of cuts on this one, but there's a lot of advice that I have just simply based around using the gutters in this race. There's a lot of places where you might be tempted to reset your car, and to be honest with you, I didn't find resetting to be faster on any occasion. It just made more sense to gutter. This car gutters extremely well, and as you can see, that's the first shortcut at 12%. I'm just talking way too much. So at 12%, go across the grass here, straight towards the checkpoint. It's going to be a faster line, just like we do in the grand races. All right, let's fast forward. Now, like I said, you might be tempted to reset this one. Out of all of the turns, this one might be the most effective to reset. That's if your resets are quick. If you're on PS4 or Xbox One, it's going to be a problem. But if you're on new generation consoles or a PC, you might be able to cut across here and reset and be faster. On this occasion, I did not, and I missed the gutter, and this was my fastest time so far. So I really think not resetting is the key. Here, again, you can use the gutter. This car gutters very, very well. Even though I'm not driving it super well, it just sticks to the gutter pretty well. Now, here's the other cut at 42. Go across the grass there. Again, trying to hit that gutter. I missed it again, and even missing these gutters, you can see there's a lot of time that I can improve here on this run. Now this turn at about 62%, you might be tempted to reset as well, but I strongly recommend using the gutter. Again, faster this way. Another one here, basically all the way down this hill. You're looking at it like, man, I usually would reset that corner. It's really not faster. If you can get yourself in the gutter and take the turn with, enough speed, this is really going to be the faster way. Again, this one might be faster if you shoot to this checkpoint and reset. You probably get a slight advantage because you don't actually have to slow down for this corner. But again, it was faster for me. I just took this. This is a particularly tough gutter, actually. These rocks will slow you down a lot. So getting in this gutter without touching these rocks is a challenge. As you can see, I barely did it. And honestly, that's it for this race. The rest of it is just keeping the car at speed and making sure you don't go off into the grass. So anyways, let's move on. All right, this last event is called Crimson Edges, and this is with the Cayman GT4. This edition of the car seems to be performing the best, so I'd recommend that. And this is the one you get in the Summit bundle, so just use that. I would recommend not using any NOS until you get past this first shortcut. It's right here at about 15%. So this is a very hard right-hander followed by a hard left-hander. I recommend just cutting this corner to the right and going through these trees. Your visual cue is this palm tree here. There's a couple of big trees that won't break on both sides. You need to use this tree as a guide. Try to hit that tree, go right through it. Navigate your way back to the road. Let's see it in full speed so you guys can get the idea of what you're looking for. Notice I stay in 5th gear most of the time as well, just trying to keep the car stabilized. Then immediately after at 21, you're gonna go up this dirt road, make sure you NOS in the air here and across this little paved section and join back up with the road there. Okay, now for one of the trickier shortcuts in this race. It's very interesting that they added this in because this is actually sort of a designated or designed shortcut. It's not like that tree cut earlier in this race. So basically, you want to go as fast as you can down this hill. When you get to this checkpoint, you're going to want to press the reset button just before you get there so that once you reset, your car is actually in front of the checkpoint. You need to get this one before the car resets. But basically, you're going to reset here, then immediately turn to the right when you respawn. You're going to go down this little road. Now, the reason I say this is designed is because why would all of this stuff be on this road for this particular race unless they actually design this to give you the choice to go through here. So make sure you're going through this one. It's much faster than going around. You can get a little air nos there to speed you up as well. And then there's a couple of other little shortcuts you can do, little, you know, corner cuts. Let's get to those. So this one here at 87%, I completely messed up on this run. I'm gonna clean this up for a, you know, for a full run. But basically you need to go to this checkpoint and reset. I hit to the right of it and I couldn't get to it, so I just decided to keep driving. And this was a pretty good time anyways, so I decided to use it for the video. But basically you'll cut that and reset. And then this one right after this wall, this is not a breakable wall, so don't run into it. Right after this wall, go ahead and cut the grass there. And then nos your way back to the very last corner here. You're gonna cut this as well. So cut after the house, watch the car. And you can actually take it much faster than that. It kind of opens up, but there you go. All right, let's get into the feats. I'm going to go ahead and let these play out like normal, and then we'll catch you with the final scores in just a bit. All right, here are my final scores. If you have any questions about this, you can send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. I read every single message that comes my way. I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope this helps, and I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.